A blessed good afternoon and welcome to the Gigi Show. Thank you for sharing the live, for subscribing to our YouTube channel, and finding us on Instagram and TikTok. Happy birthday to those who are celebrating birthdays today. If you celebrated a birthday this week, a wedding anniversary or wedding milestone, we want to say congratulations. If you landed a new job, a home, a vehicle, or a business, congratulations to you. Happy Women's History Month to all women worldwide. Let me take a time out and ask you guys to go and share the live on on your Facebook page. You can able to go follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we run TikTok and on Instagram. So, guys, I want to say thank you once again. Happy Women's History Month. I want to welcome my panel who is joining me this evening. And for those who are listening to us here in the US, the Caribbean, and around the world, I want to say welcome to you. Listen, today we're celebrating an amazing day and we are celebrating women. Our topic for today is why celebrate women. But before we get into the topic and introducing our guests, I want to introduce my panel. I'm going to first go to my co host, who is no other than the one and only Idris Grosvenor. Idris, welcome to the Gigi Show.
Hey, guys. Happy Women's History Month. Gigi, thank you for that warm welcome. You always make me feel special. I just want to say good afternoon to all our viewers, our listeners, wherever you're joining us from. We want to give you the Gigi Show welcome, and we thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on the Gigi Show. I always say there would be no Gigi Show without you guys. So I want to give a big shout out to all those of you who are listening or watching us, wherever you're listening or watching us from. Like Gigi says, go follow our Facebook page, our Instagram, TikTok, and go subscribe to our YouTube channels. You guys keep us going, and we appreciate you. To all the women who are listening to us today, we want to say a big shout out to you guys. Today we are honoring women. We love you guys, and we thank you. We thank you so much for listening and following us here on the Gigi Show. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you so much, Idris. And of course, Idris is my co host for those who are wondering. Yes. So next, I want to go to Kendra McKee. Kendra, welcome to the Gigi Show.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the welcome, Gigi. Good afternoon, good morning good day, wherever you are listening from. Happy birthday to all those people who are celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, and so on. My condolences to those who've lost loved ones. And a special happy Women's Month to all the ladies, everyone, especially our panelists, as we work through so much to bring this show to you every week. And I want to say a special happy Women's Month to them too. So happy Women's Month to everyone and our panelists.
Thank you so much, Miss McKee. And next, we want to go to our saucy Miss Leslie Bob Sample. Welcome, Leslie.
Thank you, Gigi. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, you know me, I feel like women should be celebrated every day, not just one month. But we're here this afternoon to give all our absolutely amazing women. We want you guys to hold a big up. Well, the topic is why celebrate women, and I need you guys to say in the comments why. Why should we be celebrated? I want the men to come through and say why we should be celebrated.
We want you guys
Today we're going to be talking about why we are going to be celebrating our women. We have our guest that will be coming in a little later. We have another friend of mine that we're going to be calling. Why do we celebrate us? Why should we be celebrated? Not because we're just moms, but we should be celebrated because we are amazing in so many fields. The way how women are carrying this world today, we definitely need to celebrate them. So I'm really happy and proud to be a part of this forum today. And I promise I'm not going to curse or say any bad words. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Listen, guys, that's it's going to always be Leslie. So, but Leslie, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us. As we said, we're celebrating Women's History Month, and we are celebrating 3 phenomenal women on the show this afternoon. And before we go further, let me say this. We are going to be making some random calls on the show. It may be you. You don't know if we're going to be picking your number and calling you, but we'll be celebrating you live. And if you see that call is coming through, answer, because we're celebrating you today on the Gigi Show Live. So we're going to be going into that. But before we get to that, we want to start welcoming our guests who are here. First, I'm going to go to the oldest. I shouldn't say oldest. The most mature person, I should say, who is Miss Bridget George. We'll be bringing her into the room. We want to welcome her to the Gigi Show for the first time. Welcome, Miss Bridget George.
Welcome, Miss George.
Welcome, Miss Bridget.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. But before we go to the other guests, we are going to say a little bit about who is Miss Bridget George. Miss Bridget George grew up in Stanytown, married with 6 children, a very short bio, I should say. Married with 6 children, a widow for 15 years, taught for over 30 years, involved in women's ministry, also teaching social graces and ethics. So that's a very short bio of Miss George. So once again, welcome to the Gigi Show for the very first time, and we're happy to have you here. You're going to tell a little bit about yourself and a little bit more about yourself as we get deeper into the program. Now I'm going to go to Miss Idris Grosvenor as she introduces her guests.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we have with us Pastor Lynette Baptiste. And Drayton is going to bring our honored guest in. Hello, Pastor Lynette. Hello again, and welcome to the Gigi Show.
Hi, Pastor Lynette. Welcome.
So let me say a little bit about Pastor Lynette. First of all, Pastor Lynette is the pastor at the church where I attend, the Irvington Assemblies of God Church here in New Jersey. And Pastor Baptiste attended the Linden Assemblies of God Bible School in Linden, where she graduated as the valedictorian. She then attended the Global Christian School here in the United States and obtained her degree in theology. She's currently the pastor in charge of Christian education in the Irvington Assembly of God Church in Irvington, New Jersey. She also worked with new believers to help and mentor them with the ultimate goal of them becoming members of the body of Christ. She is married to her wonderful husband, Reverend Winston Robert Baptiste, who is the founder of the Irvington Assemblies of God Church. She's a mother of 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl. She has 3 beautiful grandchildren, 2 boys and 1 girl. Pastor Lynette's passion is to see people grow and mature in the things of God. Welcome, and we are happy to have you, Pastor Lynette. Pastor Lynette, I think you're unmuted.
Are you hearing us? All right. Anyway, in the meanwhile, she's getting herself together. We are going to go to Miss Leslie Bob Semple as she introduces her guests.
My guest is not here yet. She's is she in the room? No, she's not here yet. She's not here yet. No, she's gonna come in a little bit because she's tending to a client right now. She'll come in a little while.
Not a problem.
We can continue in the meantime.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, she's coming in. We are going to start the show, and of course, as I said, we are celebrating these 3 phenomenal women. Listen, we're going to have a good time with them this afternoon. Listen, we're going to be shooting some questions to you. So first of all, I want to go to Miss Bridget. And listen, let's start saying this Miss Bridget thing. It's my mother. So this is my mom.
That's right. That's right.
I was trying. I was trying.
Gigi, I'm not hearing.
Why is it so formal?
You're not hearing?
I'm not getting any sound.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, mommy.
Pastor Lynette, can you go out and come back in?
I was just about to say that.
Leave and come back.
All right. All right, good. So in the meanwhile, so listen, let me just make this thing. What Miss Bridget? This is my mom. I actually was trying to do the correct thing in being official and doing it the correct way. So this is my mom, and first time, of course, she's here with us on the Gigi show, as I said early on, and of course, we have a few questions for you. I know you were an educator, and once an educator, always an educator, I should say. So we want to ask you. I personally want to ask you the first question. What caused you, or what prompted you to become an educator?
While I was, when you're growing up, and in those days, they always ask you what career, your right composition on what you would like to be when you grow up. And I always wrote, I wanted to be a nurse. I tried and I didn't get through for some reason, but then I was the opportunity was given to me as soon as I left school to be a teacher, and that's what I went on to, and after I went on to that, and I started.
Because she's frozen a bit. Internet in Guyana. All right. In the meanwhile, I'm going to okay, while she's coming back, I'm gonna go to Pastor Linda, are you hearing me?
I don't think so.
I don't think she's hearing either. So both of our guests, Pastor Linda.
Might have to call her on the phone.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, we're back. It's the internet.
Okay,
We're
I know
living
it's
in Guyana.
I know.
Yes.
I
Yes.
heard one of your one of the persons there. Before I go on, I remember when she said somebody had a blackout, and she started to say, "Oh, she's from Guyana."
That was
Please,
me.
please.
That was
Okay.
Yes, we understand. We understand the ignorant
Yes.
is true.
me.
Yes.
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 Mhm.
So you're hearing me now.
Loud and
Yes,
clear.
loud and
Yes,
clear.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Mhm.
So when I started teaching in 1966, I realized that I loved the job, and I was a special teacher where I taught
Yes.
home economics because that's what I studied at school. And I liked it. And that's the reason why I stayed with it. So
Mhm.
if somebody asks me if I want to do it again, yes, I'll do it again. But maybe
Yes.
we'll have to get a different set of children.
Not these. Understand. Understand.
Yeah.
But I know.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yes, I know. Once a teacher, always a teacher. And
Yes.
Yeah.
even being a teacher in the home too. So I want to. I
Of
know Idris would
course.
have questions to ask you, and along with the other panelists, I'm going to give them an opportunity to go ahead and ask those questions.
So, Mom, I know Gigi said, and in your little bio, that um you're a mother of six,
Hmm.
and that in
Wonderful
itself,
children. I love them.
that in itself is a whole job.
Oh, yeah.
Being a mother to six children, that's a whole job by itself. How did you juggle teaching and being a mother of six at the same time?
How would I, many times I look back. I look back and I myself wanted to know how I did it. I wanted to know how I did it because I had, as a matter of fact, I would say I had 4 babies all at one time
Mhm.
because
Mm,
they were just a year apart.
wow.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I can't tell you.
The
But
grace of
one thing
God.
I do thank God for, I had my mother who was
Amen.
Yeah.
very, very instrumental in that. Like when I would go to work, because at one time I was teaching so far away, at that time you didn't have the bridge, you had to catch the ferry. And I had to leave at 5:30 in the morning to go on all the way to BV Community High School. There's where I taught after I had taught at some other schools. And what I would do, my mother would keep the older ones and I would bring home the baby.
Mm.
And so in the morning, all I do, because I had to leave like about 5:30 to catch the 6 something boat. So I'll just wrap her in a blanket and that one was Sherry. I would wrap her, I would, and just take her to my mother, and she helped me. And by the time I come home in the afternoon, I don't know, but I did it. I did it.
Yes. And you did a phenomenal job.
Oh,
Thank you
yes.
so much.
That's why it's important to have a village. It's good when you have that support.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
much. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. My
Yes.
mother really helped me. She took
Yes.
care of them. That's why they always talk about her. And
Yes.
and my father too, their grandfather, both
Ooh,
he
that's my
he was a,
guy.
he was a different, but he was there for them. And so I had, and then afterwards, then I got the other two. They were up far apart. And after I had Suzette, I had 8 years after, then I got the last one.
Okay.
So the older ones took care of her.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's how I did it.
Yes,
And sometimes I
absolutely.
even look back to know, how was it? But I
Mm.
did it.
She was indeed a superwoman.
Awesome.
Mm.
And
And
at
that is
that time,
why
you don't even know that that is what you were
you
doing.
just had to get it done.
You have to get it done. You
Yeah.
have to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Mm.
The
So,
strength of a woman.
yes.
That's right.
And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I would always remember when there's so many things I remembered about what I spoke about it on the show the other night with an interview with DJ Quinn when I spoke about little things that I remember that mom did where it comes to Christmas, everybody got a gift when it comes she did little things. I remember sometimes when she's waking us up in the morning for school. She comes and she sings and she wakes us up.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes people would come and just, just in a rough way, she would come and sing to us, and we get up, calmly, and and those are little things. When it comes to baking and cooking, oh boy, ain't got nothing that I don't do when it comes to baking and cooking. So, but once again, I'm gonna go to Leslie as Leslie ask her question, and then we're gonna come down to Pastor Lynette, and as we continue the conversation. So, Mommy, we're
Hello,
gonna come right
gorgeous.
back to you, and we are
Hello,
going to
gorgeous.
some more
How you
questions.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Listen, you said you taught what level did you teach? High school?
High school, yes,
High
yes.
school?
I taught in
Okay.
secondary school. I never taught in the primary. Somehow or
Okay.
the other, I don't know what to do with them.
What school was it?
I
Oh,
taught
Lord.
at Wales most of the time. I taught at BP Community High,
Mhm.
Wales Community High, and Potential, and then I retired at Central High. But I
Okay.
I teach in the secondary
Mommy, you forget all the
because
other schools in Essequibo?
well, those were that on the Essequibo. It was just like in those days you were an acting teacher.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so they would move you around. I taught at Dartmouth. I taught at St. Philip's when they used to have the St. Philip's school, and there was a place in Border. You had the Georgetown PIC, Practical Instruction Center. But in those times, I just taught for short months, like a few months and so on. You acted
Now
for somebody.
you see all the challenges that the teachers are facing now these days with these children who smelling the self, as we would call it. I want to run up and
Yeah.
fight the teacher and all that. Did you have any of those issues back then? Yes, of course, everybody, we have the kids all have different personalities, but did you have any kind of encounter where children were running up to the teachers to fight them and hit them and all
No.
that foolishness?
We didn't have that. We didn't have that. You must have an exception, And I remember well, there was a particular child, and she oh my gosh, she was always fighting with the children and doing all these things. What at least we would do, we would call her and talk with her. You talked with the children, you encourage them. We don't know what is happening in their homes, you understand? So sometimes you can't just bash them and you ridicule them and do all of that. So you always sit and talk with them, even when you're teaching your class. You give them, in those days they give you, like when it's assembly, you give them pep talks, and those things. We didn't have that's what I'm saying. I would do it again if they were another set of children, so we had problem children, but not to
Right.
this extent.
Not to this extent. Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
this next level. This is next level.
No.
Next level. All
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
that was my question. I just wanted to know because, of course, different folks, different strokes. You know what I
True.
say? And then we living in a different time now, where social
Yes, we
media is
are.
raising our children and showing our
Yes.
children all of this violence and all of that, and they feel like they can do the same thing. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to know, if the times were simpler back then to now.
It was very much simpler.
Problem.
And the parents also worked with you.
I just wanted to know.
The
That's
parents
the
were
thing.
the parents.
That's another thing.
The parents were there, and so it was a
That's
different
another
thing
thing.
altogether.
The parents have to play a big role. I always, most of the time, I blame the parents when I see children's
Yeah, the
behavior
parents
because
worked with
we
you.
are our children's first teacher. We can't
Of
expect our
course.
teachers to just raise our children alone. So I wanted to say thank you for your service that you've given for all of the years that you've given for all the schools and all of the little minds that you helped to mold. We're grateful
Thank
for
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for your
much. Thank you so. Yes, thank you so much,
Thank
Mommy. You
you.
know, we know we have Pastor Lynette that is sitting there, and we really want to go to her. And I'm going to ask Kendra to shoot that question to her, and then you can able to ask my mom that whatever question you want to ask her to Kendra. So you can go to Pastor Lynette and you can ask her whatever question you want. And I have a few questions for Pastor Lynette also. She's my pastor too, but I haven't seen her in a long time. Anyway, that's a different story for a different time.
Okay,
Pastor
okay.
Lynette,
I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
Pastor Lynette, welcome once again. Listen, she's an amazing lady.
Yep.
And of course, guys, we are celebrating three phenomenal women today. Remember, this is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating. We're taking a time out to celebrate our women. And we've chosen these three women for a specific reason to celebrate them on the Gigi Show today. But remember, as I said, we'll be making that special call. You may be that lucky one to receive that call from us, and you're going to be live on the Gigi Show as we celebrate you. Pastor Lynette, welcome once again. And I know Kendra have a question for you. I'm going to have her go right ahead and ask your question.
So, first, I have a question for Miss Mama George. I want to
Go
say
from a
Mama
teacher
George.
to a teacher because
Yes.
Kendra's a teacher too.
So, I wanted to ask, what was scolding like in terms of, because I know back in the day you get a few lashes in school, and
Yeah.
it was not considered corporal punishment, but what
Mhm.
was scolding like?
For me, I never liked to have a whip or anything with me. I never thought with that because I don't want the children to be fearful, because sometimes you see that and they become fearful. But there were some teachers who, they always say that they were able to bring some discipline to children. I know, let me give you an incident of what happened with me. But and the thing is that no parent ever comes to you. No parent comes to you to ask anything. Because once you do it in a proper manner, you can't abuse them and think that you're disciplining them. That's abuse. I remember a fight broke out in my classroom. Two children were fighting. I am not going to go between them to part them. So I picked up the whip and I lashed this one and lashed the one. They realized that getting whips from all two sides, they stop. Right? Because they realized that this is more than what they're giving each other. And that I can say that was just one time. One time. I don't, I don't really like the idea of a lot of, beating and all of that. But it was done in those times, and nothing happened to any one of us or any one of the children.
Mhm.
Sometimes the parents come to the school and they tell you, when they do XYZ, you are free to discipline them. We didn't
Right.
have this nonsense that is going on now. We never had that. You had
Yeah.
some parents, I remember, there was a particular man who he came in and he slapped the teacher.
Yes, I remember that.
And afterwards, he felt embarrassed
Yeah.
because of what his child did after then. He felt bad about it.
Mhm.
So you had, it was, those things were in sprinkles, they weren't a lot of that about, you didn't have that. Teachers, they had teacher, the deputy, and so on. Like a child I heard the other day was saying, I think I was traveling in a car, and this child was saying to me that she remembered she called Teacher Pam, and she said Teacher Pam would go to the gate when they're late, and everybody, as you pass through the gate, you get a lash on your feet. That is what used to happen.
Mr. Allen
And
used to do that
nothing.
to
And
us.
I believe children were more disciplined then
Yes, they
than
were.
what they have now,
And more respectful, because I had
Yeah.
a
and more respectful.
principal used to do that. Yeah.
Sometimes
And
even
those
some of
days,
them
the
as
village
adults
raised the
now.
child.
Yes.
Yes, as adults, sometimes can't remember them from where I thought. But sometimes you will say, Miss, All I know that is a child that I taught,
Mm-hmm.
because they are still respectful until now. We
Yes.
don't, so I think that is missing.
Yeah.
That is why we're having what we're having.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
Thank
Yes.
you so much,
Thank
Mom.
you so much, Mama George.
We okay, Mommy, we're gonna come right back to you, but we want to go to Pastor Lynette, the beautiful lady with the flowered outfit. Pastor Lynette, welcome once again. Kendra, go right ahead with your question.
Pastor Lynette, my question to you, and this might be a question for every single person in the universe. Um, how can we reach our students more through the Bible? Because I feel like when we were in school, I remembered if it doesn't matter what denomination you were serving, whether it was Hindu, Muslim, whatever. But we had a time where there was a time set aside where we're gonna say our prayers, or however you say your prayers or whatever, and we can't do that at all now. And a
Mm,
lot of the Caribbean is actually following to suit. They don't have even the students singing the national songs. They don't know those things. So I'm asking,
No,
what's your opinion in getting through to the youths more through the Bible?
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me on the show and thanks for welcoming me.
Yes.
Idris always is behind me. Can you do it? But my schedule is so busy, but I made time for it today. Okay,
okay.
now to answer your question, we have to realize in America, there's so much distractions for our children. It's a lot of distractions, very much so.
mm-hmm.
It starts in the schools. And apart
Mm-hmm.
from the distractions, our children are under a lot of peer pressure. So
Mm-hmm.
while it's embedded in them from the homes that it's important to read the Bible, because they're out there with outside influences,
Mhm.
as you rightly said, it's a struggle, it's a battle. So, how can we get them to really get back to understanding that the Word of God is good, the Word of God is important? What we try to do at church, going starting in the Sunday school department, we would have not them with the actual Bible, but sometimes we will have them with like have scripture verses written on cards and scripture verses written out on sheets. And we will have them read that when they go to the children's church or in Sunday school. And then we will let them know these same things you are reading are found in the Bible. And just as how you enjoy reading it on these charts or on these cards, if you will get to the Bible, you will enjoy reading those same things there. And
Yes.
so we start first of all with visual cards, because they might probably think they are in school. And then we gradually bring them into the church setting where they have to literally open the Bible and begin to read it. That's for the younger children. Now for the youths, we instill in them or we emphasize the importance of the word. We say, you have your textbook. You want to pass your mathematics, you want to pass your biology, your chemistry, whatever subject, and you're there day and night. You focus and you're trying to attain good success. That's your guide in helping you to achieve your success. I said for you to live a moral, a good, and an upright life. The Bible is your guide, it's your roadmap, it's your help. And if that's your intention, you have to read this Bible to get to live a good life, a better life, to be successful in life. So we've been using that strategy. And of course, there's some who would follow suit. But of course, there's some, as the teacher said earlier, you have to go the extra mile to work with them, to instill in them, to help them, to guide them along. Some of them you have to actually sit with them and encourage them and let them know, well, I am your mother today, so we're going to read this scripture today. We're going to try to understand what it's saying to us today. So that's some of the strategies we will use to help them.
Wonderful,
Does that
wonderful.
answer your question, or it still have a
Yes,
query?
that helps. That helps. That answers my question pertaining to that. But also I'm thinking too from a perspective of where we need the support of the parents, because a lot of times I remember as a child my grandmother would say, "Oh, I'm not going to church, but Sister Maylene says she passing just enough to carry you to Sunday school." So you had to get ready and go to Sunday school, whether granny going to church or not. You had to go. And so we don't have that kind of enforcement a lot with parents. So it's like so hard to get them now to even come to church. But it's good when we have them in church that we could use that strategy that you're talking about, because you still got to keep them. You can't come
Focus
with
their
too much
minds
word,
focus. Yes,
right? You can't come with too much wordy stuff
that's
and so
true.
forth. So I do love that strategy that you spoke about there just now.
Yeah.
Do they still have Sunday schools though, like before? Because I remember that was a
Yeah, well,
thing. That was
at church
something
we still
you
Yeah.
have
had
Sunday
to
school.
go
Yeah,
to.
you still have
We
Sunday
still
school.
have Sunday school at church. And what
Yes.
I
happens
know
is,
my Sunday school teacher used to carry me home like this every Sunday, but hello, I used to have to be in Sunday school.
so
Every Sunday,
and
this
You
is
was one
me.
of them.
This is me. She walking, going home every Sunday.
Let
yeah.
me
But I
share
had
remember
to
the
be there.
memory for us well.
No, but the thing is, because of that, I remember it was all good memories. And my son don't have any Sunday school to go to. I don't even have a church to go to. I grew up in Sunday school. That was the thing. You had to get dressed and go to Sunday school.
So
You sit
what
up in church and after church Sunday school. I don't know.
one of the strategies we use at church for those children who do not want to come to church to be in Sunday school, we would keep that Sunday school in the afternoons on Zoom. So they're in the home. And
Nice.
so we invite the parents to sit with them while we are
Yes.
doing the Sunday school with them on Zoom. And I find
Wonderful.
we do have a great response. We
Good.
I
do
like
have a
that.
great
I like that.
response.
I like
Yeah.
But
because
And in that
technology is
Sunday
their
That's
thing.
school, we will
yeah, I
give them
love
memory
that.
verses to memorize.
mhm.
And then each
Mm-hmm.
Sunday when we go back, you have to tell us what did the memory verse say.
Yeah,
And
and
to
what
Mm-hmm.
did you mean
encourage
and
them,
all
we
that
will
and
give
stuff.
them like little tokens, little gifts and such like.
I
But
like
we
Yeah.
that.
find that is working effectively, that doing
Yeah,
That's a
with them
good
on
idea.
Zoom.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
What
like
my
I
that.
like
church
that too.
does, what my church does, we ask the parents to bring the children with them to church. And while church is going on,
The
Sunday
children
school
are
is
in
going
Sunday
on.
school. Yeah.
Because, of
Well,
course, you
that's what
can't
they do
get
at.
them to sit
Yeah,
still
Mm-hmm.
well, we
in
do have
church.
that too. We
Yeah,
do
you
have
guys
that
have that
too.
too, Pastor Lynn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have that
Mm-hmm.
system too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
All right.
Leslin, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to the Irvington Assemblies of God, right there at 678 Lyons Avenue. That's where we are. You're in New Jersey now. You and Ayuk are welcome to join us at the Irvington Assemblies of God. It's
It will
right
be my
there.
pleasure. I would love to. I would
Yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
Maybe next Sunday we can go.
Your kingdom
Okay.
searching on the Zoom. I love it.
And we will,
Yes.
Yeah. I like
we will love
Zoom.
to have you.
I like that Sunday school on Zoom. It's a good idea. I
Yeah,
I
love
I
it.
love
love that.
that.
I've never heard that
Yeah.
before, but that is really, really good.
Neither.
Yeah,
Pastor
Yeah.
Lynn. Yeah, I love
yeah.
that.
And we
And
It's
find
so,
that
innovative.
I'll bring it to the
on the
attention.
Zoom Sunday
yeah.
school, we find at times children would come like from Guyana and like other
Mm,
countries to visit. And when they're here, when we do have
nice.
Sunday school on Zoom, they would join in with us. Some over
From
there.
wherever they
Wonderful.
are.
From
Yeah.
wherever they
Oh,
are, they would join
yes.
in the Sunday school. Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
nice.
that.
That's nice.
That's
Right. So
wonderful.
once again,
Yeah.
we are celebrating these women on the show today. And
Mm-hmm.
these phenomenal women. We're waiting for our next guests to come
Mm-hmm.
in so that we can celebrate her too.
Yeah.
A younger blood.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, I'm gonna go to Idris. I'm gonna come back to you guys again because I got some more questions.
Gigi, before you go to Idris,
Yeah.
DJ Quinn has a question for Mama George. He
Oh.
wants to know, how did the teachers deal with children with disabilities back in your days?
Oh,
My,
I can't
disability was a
remember
taboo.
us. I can't remember us having any.
And that's what I was just about to say.
That's
I
because
can't
people
remember
used to
us
keep
having
their children
any.
home.
Thank you.
When anything
Thank
like
you,
that was
Leslie.
wrong with them, they kept them home. The mad, the stupidity, the mad. So they
Yes,
locked them
yes,
in the houses.
yes.
We did
We
not
didn't
allow
have
them
any.
to be a part
And they
of
didn't
general
take them to
population.
school.
Yeah,
No, they
that
never
was
took
the
them to
problem back
school.
then. That's what that was. People were
But
ashamed. It was
what?
an embarrassment to have somebody like that in your
Yes, they were
family.
I feel like the
embarrassed. Yeah,
classification didn't exist. It's only
Yeah.
when they're really high on the spectrum, they would keep them
hmm
home and those kind of things. Because we had
yeah,
children who had difficulty learning certain things. I
But you
remember
didn't know what
students
was wrong with
who
them.
used to write back to the front mirror writing, and that's
Mm,
dyslexia and
yeah,
so
yeah.
on.
yeah,
So it's like it was there, but we weren't like
yes,
fully aware. I feel like that was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Some
yes.
people were, but
They never
they
brought them.
were ashamed. I know people
That's
used to
true.
lock
Yeah,
the
they were
children up and
ashamed.
scorn. They were
Yeah,
ashamed. It was a
but
shame
not
on
now.
your family to have somebody like that in your family. So they
But
used to
now,
lock them up.
but now they have the special needs schools,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
some of
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
them,
should.
yeah,
Yeah. For
they
sure.
have. Even on the West Demerara here, they have the special needs school.
Yeah, in Georgetown
Wow.
too. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you
Nice.
so
Yeah,
much.
they have some of them in Georgetown. And you know, some of those children, I remember there's a particular child, uh he he couldn't really do much at school. But you know what? The head teacher for that school found out that he had a beautiful voice, and she would allow him to
Yes.
sing.
That's
She
skill.
would
That's a
allow him
skill
to
right
sing.
there.
Wonderful.
And
Yeah.
he went to a special needs school in Georgetown, and he sang calypso, but I don't know what happened somewhere along the line.
Mm.
I don't see just see him walking the road now, but he could sing very well. And he did
Wow.
sing calypso. And you see, it has a lot to do with the society. They laugh at them, they say all kinds of things, and that is what helps to bring these children like to that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a very important thing. Those special needs children, each one of them got their own gifting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, more. Yeah,
Mm.
they do. They
Yes.
do. They
Idris.
do.
Idris, can you
Yes,
question?
yes, 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 yes. Well, before I even ask a question, I just want to say this woman here is very instrumental in my life. This is my beautiful pastor. Um, I don't know. She just has a knack for knowing when I'm going through something. Whenever I'm going through something, I get a phone call from this lady. Don't ask me how she knows, but I get a phone call.
You
Idris,
know, you know.
yes, she just knows when I'm going through something. And she would always call me. She would pray for me. She would encourage me, in every way. She's always there. And I just want to say, Pastor Lena, today, I want to give you your flowers. And I want to say thank you for everything that you have always been doing for me. And I know you will continue to do. I thank you for being in my life. And I thank you for always, always covering me in prayer. In
Amen.
everything I always say, I know for a fact there is someone out there praying for me, and her name is Lynette Baptiste. So I want to thank you for that. And I just want to say you are an awesome person. You are a wonderful person. And God couldn't have blessed me more than when He placed you in my life. And I just
Thank
want to
you.
say a big thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you have been in ministry for a very, very long time. And um I know you've also had some challenges. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you, like, with everything that happened, did your faith ever waver?
With everything that went on, is particularly when my husband got sick suddenly, at one time I remember laying on the bed and I said, these were my exact words. I said, God, what are you doing to me? Those my words to him. And like in a split second, like the Holy Spirit ministered, he is molding you and shaping you into what he wants you to become. And that gave me some rest in my spirit. But as a human, it was not easy going through it. There were challenges upon challenges. But with faith in God, with support from the church and prayers, at that time my mom was alive. She was one of the tower of strength for me. I was able to pull through. I was able to pull through. There's nothing like when you're going through battles and struggles to know there are people there standing with you in prayers, people there giving you an encouraging word. Something just a simple smile or a pat on the shoulder
Mhm.
made you know you're not
Mm,
alone in this.
yep.
People are there with you. And that helped to pull me through.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Helped to pull me
Mhm.
through.
Amen. You're a
Because
stalwart pastor, Lynette.
now, many people say that to me. They say you're a strong woman, you're a stalwart, but it was real tough for me. It was real hard. It was real grueling. It was just something easy to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, especially how it came so suddenly.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't expected. Because
Right.
when he became sick, we spoke. I was still at work, and we spoke on the phone. And his last words to me were, it was a Friday, we had prayer meeting. He says, okay, I see you when we get to church at prayer meeting. Those were his last time. We said, okay. Then my son got home. He wasn't married then. He came home about 5 minutes after we were finished speaking. And when he got home, he called me in anxiety. Mommy, mommy, daddy, something happened to daddy. Daddy's not talking to me. I said, but we just spoke. And that's where everything started to go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
That's how suddenly it happened. But when you have faith in God,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
it really helps you through
Yeah.
a lot in
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it helps you a lot in life.
All
And
right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and his sickness was in rapid successions. It was from one to the next. Not say it was spaced out. It was in rapid successions from one to the next to the next to the next. Every month, I had to deal with something in his every month. And as I said, Satan really was trying to take him out and to sift me, but God stood with us.
Amen.
Amen.
God stood
Yeah.
with us.
I want to say something about Pastor Ella before we go further. I remember the second, I think it was either the first or the second time I visited Irvington Assemblies of God. I was there and eventually I left. So I think she called Idris and she asked Idris, who is that lady with the blonde, the blonde hair? And that is how I know that she is really a true woman of God.
Mhm.
She prays for you, she prays, and the Lord shows her things. She knows nothing about me. And she said, tell her I need to talk with her the next time she comes back to church. And I went to her and she prayed with me. She said, the Lord is showing me that you are going to work with women. And this woman knew nothing about me. And she called me up and she said, the Lord is showing me that you are going to work with women. And it had started already, but she knew nothing. So I want to say that you are indeed a true woman of God. And I know that we have not spoken in a while, but
Mhm.
I'll tell you again, we're coming back to the one. We can talk about it right now. But take your flowers. You're
Yes.
indeed a true woman of God. And
Amen.
also to my mother, you have taught us, even at my book launching, I spoke of the fact that um, my mom would have taught us the only thing she knew is the word of God. When I moved to the US and I came here, I went through some struggles. And the only thing that kept me is the word of God and prayers, nothing more. Because you know what? In many cases, you have parents who are going to say, you know what? Come, let me give you $1 million. Go
Mhm.
start. But she hadn't that. She gave it what she had. And I will never, ever regret knowing God because I was sent off on my own. I flew out into the woods and I had to figure it out. But I walked with the Lord, and that is what kept me, and I'm here until now. So I just wanted to say that. I know you just may have one, or anybody else wants to jump in with your questions. Go right ahead. Feel free. And we're bringing in our next guest who is going to be joining us. I don't know if Leslie, you are ready with your guests so that we can able to we can celebrate them. As I said, we're celebrating phenomenal women with us on the Gigi show this afternoon.
She
And for
said
those
that she
who
would
are in
join.
the
You want to see?
one second. For those who are in the chat, you want to send your questions and ask those questions to any one of the ladies, the guests here. You can feel free and go right ahead. Go ahead, Les.
Anyways, while we waiting on Leslie, I want to give a big shout out to those in the chat. I see Samantha Smith. I see Maxine is there. Unika is there. Deborah is there. We thank you guys. I see Equa is there also. And Equi's talking about their Sunday school is also on Zoom and every Sunday morning. And it is for adults too. The Zoom is a good thing. So we have to thank God for COVID. The Bible saying everything we
Yes.
must give thanks.
True, true,
COVID
true,
gave us
true.
this. And it is phenomenal. Now you don't have to leave one place. When we have meetings at work, we use Zoom, and we don't have to leave to go anywhere. So we thank God for COVID. It did a good thing.
I
Now the word of
also,
God can
Yeah,
be spread
that's
worldwide
nice.
thanks to COVID.
And not only that, to Idris, it brought out so much in persons. They had talents that were hidden, and those talents
Yeah.
came out during COVID.
COVID.
So thank God for that. Yeah.
I
Go
see
ahead,
Michelle
Les.
Livingstone and Carolyn Garvey from Guyana. First time they're on. I normally send them the link, but they're
Welcome.
here. Good afternoon, ladies.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome. All right. Leslie.
Okay, so my guest is not here yet. Anyway, I want to talk on the topic. Our topic for today is why celebrate women. I want to ask the pastor. You know, a lot of people have this thing about, oh, women is just, here because, they're mothers, they got to do what they have to do, they have to raise the children, they're responsible for the home, they're responsible. Well, some people do feel that way, that women is more of the homemaker, women is more of the bearer of children, women's responsibility is to be a good wife, women, that kind of stuff. But we have women flying planes. We have women who are doctors. We have women who are magistrate, judges, lawyers, running corporations. A question like that comes to you. Why celebrate women? How would you respond to something like that? To a
The
question like that,
first,
Pastor?
the first thing I will let people know, as women, we are very special in the sight of God.
That's right.
God created us with different genes to men. When you analyze the life of a woman, even our individual lives, we are like, what must I say, like CEOs in our families. We are blessed with lots of talents and gifts. We know how to keep a family together. That's why we need to be celebrated. Take a woman from out of a home and just leave a man with children and see what will happen to those children.
Chaos.
So true.
Yes, we know how to keep the family together.
Yeah.
We also know we can have $10 and we would know how to prepare a good meal for that home with everybody getting something to eat. So I'm saying, and not only that, when we are in our homes, we will sit and think, how can I make a better life for my family? With what means and what income is coming into the home, how can I have my children more comfortable? How can we live more in our setting? And we are always planning and strategizing to have our families live comfortable and happy and loving. And so in that we need to be celebrated because we just do not accept life as it comes. We look beyond how we can enhance life, not only for ourselves, but for our family, our children. How can they be attain something higher in life? And not only that, as women, we make lots of sacrifices because we want to see our home better, our children better. So with that being said, we need to be celebrated. Because
At all
we
times.
just do not take life simple, or we just not ordinary people. We are children of the Most High God, who is blessed with lots of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
There you go. Mama Bridget, do you want to jump in on that? Why should
Yeah.
we be celebrated?
Yeah, we celebrate women. We are a special we are special
Of course.
in the eyes of everybody
Of
Yeah.
course.
because when you look at career women,
Mhm.
and in years gone by, women could not have been lawyers and doctors and
Mm-hmm.
and those kind. they said the woman's role is to be in the
In the
home.
home.
But
Yeah.
I know that women, because we are so strong, and some, some men, they're fearful of the women who are strong. Is that,
Mm-hmm.
but even though you're strong, you're still humble, and you
Yes.
That's
don't
right.
want to override the man. That is
Yeah.
not our place.
Mm-hmm.
So after women found out that they could have gone out into this world of work and to be what they would want to be. And the thing is that, if, like somebody was saying, a woman is running a country, it is always different. A
Mm-hmm.
woman running an organization, it is different.
Yeah.
Because, like, I sent it, I don't know if Jeannie looked at it, where a pastor was saying, women always have a plan B.
Yes. That's true.
They always have a plan B.
Yeah.
And but you see, men would have to understand that there is an extra something in us that they don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's how we were created.
Yes.
So when women are able to do so much more, is that for once you would see a woman she can multitask.
Mm-hmm.
Men, I don't know how many men can multitask. You know, you're
They
looking at
can't
the
do
baby,
it.
you're cooking
They
the food,
can't do it.
you're doing this,
Mom,
and you're
mom,
hearing
Finish
all
mom,
what the
right?
children doing. You
mom,
We
you
know,
will
want to
make
wake up the
Milton get a heart attack
left shit.
today.
Left shit. We want you to wake up the men. Let them
yes,
Yes,
fucking
yes,
understand. Let them
it
come
I
in
is.
love
here.
it.
And the thing is, you do it with such precision and such, such
With
ease.
grace,
You're
grace.
holding the baby and you're cooking.
And you got clothes you
You
washing
know,
and got to put on the line.
yes, everything you do in one time,
Yes,
multitasking. That is what
that's right.
I was telling my granddaughter. She wants to do home economics. I said, you have to know how to multitask. There is
That's
Yes.
what
right.
you call also overlapping.
Mm-hmm.
So women in these areas are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Women in these, as lawyers and doctors and nurses and going out of the home to work, you know, it's not easy, but
Mm-hmm.
we are strong. We can do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Mama George, I
Yes.
Yes.
want to
Thank
add
you so
peace to what
much.
you say. Mama
Huh?
George, we could
Yeah.
separate it easy. Just carry them in the labor ward. Them strong ones, Mama George.
I don't think some of them want to be there.
That's right. Monica Grant is saying we are builders, and that is so
Yes.
true. Yeah, I
Yes.
salute the
And only
women.
the other day, I was saying to my sister-in-law, is that we are so strong, and God always got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He did those, we could have done those things when we were young. We can bear that pain. I say, yeah, we bearing the pain, and as soon as the pain finish, you're ready to go make another one. Because you forget the pain. You forget the pain. But I just tell them, I say, God has a plan. I ain't able, if my finger get a little thing, it's so terrible now. I ain't able to bear pain. God never made us to bear pain at this stage of our lives.
Mm-hmm. That's
True.
You
true.
were strong when you did
Yes.
it in your
Mm-hmm.
youthful years.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes.
women are strong. We
Yes, we
are.
Yes.
are. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I actually have a friend. When she was in her labor having her first child, her husband said, I want to be there to see the process. So they did allow him to go. But then you know what happened? They had
Pastor.
to
So,
end up taking care of him because when he fainted, he actually fainted. They had to turn around and take care of him to revive him. Yeah, it happened. It happened in real life.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
I
does.
knew that
Yeah.
is what happened,
It
Pastor.
does.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yes.
fainted. They had to turn around and take care of him and then get back to the wife.
Oh, goodness.
Ye-
Wow. So,
Right.
I
Well,
have another parable my grandmother used to tell me because I'm a grandmother girl. You know, I grew with my granny.
okay.
Granny used to say, listen to me. You know why we strong? Because when God made man, that was the first thing. He tried it out and he said, oh, okay, this is what I got to do. And then he made women, he gave we the rib and everything, and he gave me all the skills so that we could be able to help and be the helper to the
Help.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yes.
we,
Yes, yeah,
we can do anything
True.
they can do.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah. Anything that they do, look at, yeah, I
We can
mean,
do
the
better.
first welder. Remember in those days they used to have only men used to be welders, but the
Or
first welder I know
electricians.
in Guyana, there was a young lady I know her. Well, I think she's dead now. She was the first welder in the
Mm.
estate. Men, only men used to do it, but she was a woman that went and did something different. And let me tell you this: there was a sister said, she said, men do not understand us. They will never understand a woman. She said, the reason why the men can't understand women, because when God made Eve, Adam was asleep.
Mm.
He was
It could,
asleep.
it could be
So he
because
didn't understand. But so that is why when he woke up from the sleep and he saw this beautiful creature, he said, whoa, man. So
oh,
that's why they can never understand us. Because they know what God did,
what took place while they
to
were
make
asleep.
what took place there. But
Yeah.
we have to be strong many times
Yes.
for the men.
Yes.
Yes.
Many times we
Thank you,
gotta be strong.
ladies. Thank you so much. All
Okay, we're
right,
going to bring in
so
our next
our
guest.
two guests that we have, I have two amazing women that's waiting backstage to come in. I'm going to we were talking about females being doctors and lawyers. First, one of them is a doctor and the other one is a lawyer. All right.
Oh
See, I have
wow.
very, very intelligent friends. Okay.
Amen.
So I'm going to bring in the attorney at law, who's my sister, my friend, my homie, my ride or die, as we call it. Her name is Anastasia. Now, I want to read a little bit before I bring her on. And let me tell you, today's Saturday, and that woman at work, okay? She's at work. She just finished seeing clients. That's why she's a little late, because she was supposed to come in early, but she was seeing clients and helping people. She does it all. All right. Anastasia Nicola Sanford Fredericks is an accomplished attorney at law and the lead of her attorney of her very own law firm, who brings a rare blend of legal excellence, artistic expression, and leadership to her role as to her role as attorney. She's passionate and creative. She's an accomplished actress. Listen, this woman does it all. And a well-decorated professional dancer. We danced together.
Ooh.
That's how we became friends.
Wow.
Whose deep appreciation for performance, discipline, and artistry informs her discerning eye and balanced judgment. All right. She has served, she was a chief judge. She has served as a judge across many competitions, modeling
Wow.
and so forth. Her experience extend higher level in pageantry and competition. Having served on the board of directors of the Miss World Guyana, one of the country's most prominent and respected national competitions, in that role, she contributed to shaping standards of excellence, leadership, and representation on both the national and international stage. A dedicated mentor and tireless volunteer, Ms. Sanford Fredericks is deeply committed to empowering others, particularly young people and emerging talent. Her leadership is grounded in service, professionalism, and a genuine desire to uplift those around her. And I can speak for that personally, because like I said, she's not only been my friend, she's been my source of go-to whenever I have a situation. She's the one. I have friends, I have close friends, but she's the one that I go to when anything that is on my chest, and she's always giving me a word of encouragement. I remember one day I was sitting right here. I was outside. She was in this office on the phone on Zoom from 7 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock in the evening. from one courtroom to the next, from one meeting to the next. At one point, she was having a meeting with the professors and the teachers and professors from the law school in Bahamas. She was having a conference with them where she was teaching them stuff about law. This woman is amazing. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a good friend, she's a dancer, she does pageantry, she's done all of it. And like I said, today is Saturday at this time in the afternoon when everybody's getting ready to go hang out and party. She's in the office seeing and meeting with her clients. I need to introduce you guys to my homegirl and my friend, Anastasia Sanford Fredericks. Bring her in here, Drayton. Let's celebrate this powerhouse of a woman. See, she got on she jacket. She sit on in her office this Saturday afternoon when she should be home relaxing. That's why we were talking about women who can do all of it and still function. Hi, my love. Hi. I'm talking too much. I'm so proud of this woman, guys. You would not believe it. I am so proud of this woman. I tell her every chance I get, and I'm happy that she took the time. I know she probably chased your client out of the office to come in here. Everybody, please meet my friend Anastasia, known as Stacy.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you guys so much, first and foremost, for having me on your program. I love this program. I respect this program, and I love that it's all about, whatever topic you guys, because I've been fortunate enough to listen on some occasions while I was there with Leslie and the Gigi show. So thank you guys so much for having me on this program. Yes, I'm at work. It's today and tomorrow. And that's only because I have deadlines to meet and I need to meet them. And so I have zero excuse to meet them.
Superwoman.
Yes, superwoman. Now the
Welcome
question
to
on
the
everybody's
digital.
mind. We're promoting, supporting, encouraging. We just want to shine a light on our women in the society. The question for today is why support women? We want to hear your take. Why should we be supported?
Let me take it way back to history. I'll give you a little bit. What I've learned during my sense and my readings and my learnings during the law is that women were not allowed to do so many things way back in the days. We weren't allowed to vote. We weren't allowed to own properties. We weren't allowed to. We were just housewife, barefoot, and pregnant in the kitchen. That's it. And so, because of that background, where we weren't allowed to do these things, I believe now that we have fought, and our great women, Rosa Parks, and all the other great names that have fought for our freedom and our rights to do certain things, I believe it is important for us to support each other in whatever venture and whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be a high-end professional. It doesn't have to be, it could be as much as somebody has a cleaning service or a business, or somebody that works in a hospital that clean, whatever you think the job is. There's no job that should be meager, or you look down upon them, or say, well, we should be helping each other and fixing each other's crown, whatever that looks like. So I just think that because of our background, it is important for us to assist and help each other in whatever way necessary. Most importantly, and what people miss, is that sometimes the strong one needs help.
Yeah.
And so supporting each other mentally as well is also as equally as important as any other support.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Yes, that's the thing. I have we need to support each other at all times. That's why I posted that picture the other day, and I said depression also wears a smile. Check on your strong friends, the friends that are smiling and laughing the most. Check on them, because sometimes they're fighting battles that we don't know, but they're masking it with a smile. But
That's
this one
true.
knows when something is going on with me, just like the pastor, the relationship that Idris have with you, Pastor. We
Mm-hmm.
have this one here have a relationship. We have that relationship. You
Relationship.
know when
Mm-hmm.
something's wrong with me. I know when something's wrong with her from just by our text messages. Like
Yeah.
if you have to have relationship with people that if you text them a message and they answer you a certain way, you know that something is wrong.
Yes, that's
You
right.
have to have relationship with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that relationship. Stacey and I have that relationship, just like how you could tell when something is wrong with Idris. She and I,
Mm-hmm.
we have that same relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add one more person to this call. This young lady, I've known her, Stacey. You know who it is. She's a fellow dancer of ours. One of the what is it? Quietest? Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
She is
Listen,
one of
you
the
allowed.
she is the most quiet person I've ever met in my life. She's humble. She is a brilliant. She is amazing. She's one of the sweetest people you ever meet. I cannot pronounce what kind of surgeon she is, but she is. She her she's specialized in the care for your sight. She is a surgeon who is responsible for restoring this our sight. Um, she's a doctor at Georgetown Hospital. She's a surgeon. I have to be specific. She's a surgeon. She's a mother of a beautiful baby girl. I want to introduce you to Miss Arlene Malika Bob Semple.
Arlene.
Yes.
I was frightened to
Um,
remember her name, Arlene.
yes. She's having trouble with her video, but she's gonna be on with us with audio. She's a phenomenal woman. She's a surgeon in Georgia Hospital, like I said before, and she made a post on Facebook the other day that all the pores on my hand raised, describing her journey to become a surgeon. Arlene, are you there with us? Good afternoon.
Good evening,
I'm sorry.
everyone. Can you
I'm
hear
sorry
me?
you guys can't get to see her beautiful face. We can hear you.
Good
All
evening.
right.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to be here with you, amazing panelists, and to share a little bit about myself and the work that I do to help with the restoration of vision for patients. So, I'm an ophthalmologist, but further to that, I'm a vitreoretinal surgeon, which means that I treat diseases affecting the back of the eye, which is the retina. And diseases usually which affect the retina usually leads to severe visual loss or blindness in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
And my passion has always been restoring sight because sight is one of our most important senses. It's important in improving our quality of life, important in our sense of independence, so that's just a little bit about me.
Thank
Okay.
you, Arlene. The question of the day. We're asking everyone. The question of the day. Why should we be celebrated? Why should women be celebrated? That's the question of today.
Women should be celebrated because empowered women make uh, better decisions for themselves, better decisions for their families, better decisions for their communities and countries
Mm-hmm.
at large.
Mm-hmm.
So it's extremely important to support and empower women, and it
Mm-hmm.
starts from um, young ages. So even a small girl, you can be her role model and encourage her
Mm-hmm.
to succeed in life. You know,
Oh, wow. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. I'm
Is
telling you
anyone
guys, it feels, oh, she's beautiful. Look at her.
right?
Look at her. Nice.
Gorgeous. Do you guys
Good.
I
have
was
any other?
trying to remember if it was the one that I know. Good evening,
Yes.
Arlene.
good evening. Good evening.
Look
Does anybody
carefully
else
at the
have any
face. Don't you
questions?
remember who this is?
Kendra,
Arlene,
anyone?
don't forget your Bishop
Yes.
speak
Yes.
for us.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. Good. I
Does
will
anybody
call
else
Yes.
have any
Arlene and
questions
her
for the
husband.
attorney?
Nice. But let me say this. See, listen, I am super excited that we can celebrate women. If you look upon the screen, you see some strong, bold, beautiful women. And this is what we do. We're celebrating you guys today who are lawyers, a physician, a pastor, a teacher. Listen, I am super proud of you. I'm so happy that I can able to celebrate you guys. It's an amazing thing to be a woman.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that I am a woman. I would want to come
Yes.
again. And persons would ask a question, what would you want to be when you come back again? A woman and a
You could,
stronger
so you
woman.
could fix some more things.
Or you can fix some more things. I don't want to be no cat, nor bird, or nothing. I want to come as a woman, and I'm
We know
proud.
how to keep our composure
We
under
know
pressure.
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, our flight or fright,
Yes,
is more
absolutely.
sturdy
So
and
once
stronger.
again, I
Yeah.
want to say thank you for the ladies who are joining us here. I don't know if anyone else has questions that they would want to ask, but you can go right ahead. But then it's in 10 minutes, I'll be opening the phone lines and I'll be making some calls and
Mhm.
randomly to some women to celebrate them here on the Gigi show. Go right
Yes.
ahead.
Well, I want to say a big welcome to Arlene and to Anastasia. It's a pleasure having you ladies here on the Gigi Show. And I take my hats off to you guys. I know the journey to becoming a lawyer, the journey to becoming a doctor, especially a specialized doctor. I know it could not have been an easy one. I know, Anastasia, I don't know you personally, but I know you through the world of dance, and you've always been a strong person. And when Leslyn said to me, who, because she was just saying this name, Anastasia, and as we were talking in our meeting or whatever, and then she called you by another name, and I'm like, really? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I am so proud of her. And today, Anastasia, I want to say I am so proud of you. I am grateful that God has kept you, that you have made it here, and I know that you're going to impact women and men, but as you go along. So I thank God for bringing you. And to Arlene, the same goes for you. Girl, I know that journey could not have been easy. I've had 5 surgeries on my eyes due to sickle cell. And I'm thanking God that I have my vision, and I'm thanking God that there are people like you who are out there who are qualified to help people like me to keep our vision. So kudos to you ladies. I give you your flowers today and we celebrate you.
Thank you.
We don't need the ladies to go anywhere. Guys, don't go. I don't know if there's anyone else in the meanwhile that wants to ask questions, but I'll be starting to
I,
look for those numbers to
I
make
see
the
DJ
first
Quinn
call.
has a question in the
Yes.
chat, and he's asking the question of Anastasia. And he says, for the lawyer, what was the most difficult case you had?
Um, there's no case for me that is difficult. You see, I wouldn't put any case as being difficult. I work with the law. And from the time that I interview a client, I can tell the client whether or not the law is on their side and whether or not they're acting within the confines of the law. And what is the possible outcome? Not by giving bold assurances, but by giving a possible outcome of what the matter will be. So I don't want to set you up for failure, because at the end of the day, wherever the hammer falls, it falls, because a judge may have a different opinion or a different thing, way they see a certain case and where it goes. My area of specialty is usually it's family, conveyancing, estates, civil law, corporate law. So I specialize in those areas. I do not do crim, no crim at all, because not that I hate it, but it's a lot to do at the same time. So my niche is really family, conveyancing, civil, corporate. And what is most challenging is usually, they believe it or not, they family and civil. Because sometimes within the realm of the civil, you get a lot of fraud cases. So you have a lot of cases where persons would have committed fraud, in documentary fraud, that is, within doing something. So I have to now be a police officer, research person. Like you have to, in order to give your client the best possible outcome, you have to be able to dig deep and not just take what your clients say to me. And I have this gift of telling when people are lying, because clients do come to you and lie to you and tell you certain things. So I have this gift that I can tell when they're lying. And so I know how to, tell them, so listen, I'm the only person you need to tell the truth. And that's the only way that I can help you. And then I get a different outcome. With family, the difficulty lies where I have the issue with divorces where there are children involved, where it's difficult for, and I will say this sparingly, females to accept when their ex-spouse has moved on and is now with somebody else. Now the child is being used as a weapon. And so you have the difficulty of trying to create orders or make orders so that the two parties can work together. And even when an order is created, you find that the client calls you back and tells you, well, hey, he didn't bring the child or she didn't bring the child or whichever. So that is the most difficult and challenging aspect. And I say that and I pick on that because this morning, rather last night, at 10 o'clock, a client called me to tell me that child father collect the child and she can't get the child back. I could not believe what I was hearing. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night. What do you want me to do? Then there's the client called back again this morning early. This is Saturday. But again, I tried my best not to shut them out and to try to find solutions. Yes. So I said, give me a call in the morning and I'll see what I can do. I'll probably give a call, whatever the solution is. And so I try and I solved it amicably. I did speak with the father and we tried to resolve it, and the child will be returned this evening, or it should be returned already. And so that, I would say, the most difficult types of cases where we have a lot of emotions involved. And I try to tell women to divorce their emotions as much as you're divorcing the father. You also have to divorce your emotions and think about the best interest of the child. I am living proof that fathers can raise children, because my sons were raised by their fathers. Well, two of them were raised by their fathers. So I'm living proof that, it can work. But it's just some women makes it extremely difficult. And I am harping on the women because that has been my experience. Mm-hmm. That has been the cases. And I can tell you I've had well over 200 cases of family cases dealing with this type of issue, because that's my area of specialty. So for the most part, yes, I would say family and dealing with civil cases. And cases where persons wake up suddenly after 40 and 50 years and realize that they have land somewhere in Guyana, and then they want you to magically fix it and get them title to these lands and, create this magic that they want to happen. So those are the times when it becomes a bit difficult, but nothing that I can't handle. Mm-hmm. If that answers your question.
Right. There you go. I have a question for the doctor, the surgeon. This person is she sent me a message in my inbox. She wears glasses, and somebody told her that there's a surgery that you can do to correct it, to stop wearing glasses. Okay, I'm gonna try to break this down. She's wearing glasses, like me, and somebody told her there's a surgery that you can get done where you can do surgery on your eye and then there's no more glasses. You can just see without your glasses. Is that possible?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is possible, but it's unfortunately not available in Guyana. That's one of the cosmetic procedures usually done in first world countries or in some of the more developed Caribbean islands.
Mm-hmm. There's a question for Mom from Drayton in the chat. And Mom is asking you, Ms. George, you come from a generation where discipline in schools look very different from what we see today in Guyana. Back then, corporal punishment existed in many classrooms and teachers were given the authority to discipline students physically, but within limits. Today, that has largely been removed from schools. But at the same time, we are seeing more reports of students becoming extremely unruly, even to the point where some are attacking teachers. In your view, do you think the removal of corporal punishment played any role in the breakdown of discipline in schools? Or are there other factors that we should be paying attention to? Mom, that question
No,
is to you.
okay, I
After
would
mom
say that,
answered, I'd like to add to it.
okay, I would say taking away the corporal punishment from school. I do believe that it is important, but because I believe in what the Bible says, right? But corporal punishment, I think they took it away from the class teacher and they have only put it to the senior teachers who can administer corporal punishment. And I do believe um, that should be the last resort. I don't believe that children you should give children corporal punishment for learning. I don't agree with that because some children you will never find them learning. But for discipline, I do agree. Or there can be other means. You see, there's the breakdown because of what has happened. There can be other means of discipline other than corporal punishment. I do agree with that. But you have to know the limits. You have to know, you have to work with the home. You got to work with organizations. You got to know how that can happen within the school system. I do agree with that. But corporal punishment should never be the first thing. It should really be the last resort. Sometimes even now I look and then sometimes I would see my grandchild, they would beat it hurts me to see when they administering corporal punishment. Like I don't really like it. But what I'm saying, corporal punishment can still remain, but that doesn't mean you have to do it all the time.
Mhm.
It must only be the last resort,
Last
if
resort.
possible.
Mhm. I agree with that. Last
Mhm.
resort. Is there
Stacey, you
any?
wanna continue? You said you wanna add.
This is a very tricky question. When I say it's a very tricky, it's a lot of debatable issues with whether or not we should keep it or um, do away with it altogether. Now, when we do away with it altogether, these children feel so empowered that
Mm-hmm.
they can do whatever they want to do and
Mm-hmm.
they cannot be punished for it, or at least not corporally, or not have what we used to call back in the days licks.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the issue of having it in place and children developing this fear, possibly um, using themselves corporal punishment as a way of discipline towards anybody else. There's them developing this psychological, having a psychological effect of of knowing that if you don't get punished, you would never get it right. And so they bring that into families. They bring it into when they grow older. They believe that this is what can be used on the husband or wives, because believe it or not, women abuse men and the husband and wife,
Yes.
and because this is
Mm-hmm.
what they learned throughout the school. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a
Mm-hmm.
very debatable issue, but I believe that it starts in the home. It starts in the
Mm-hmm.
home. And as much as we'd like to say, oh, blame the parents and say parents haven't disciplined the children, listen, you could discipline all you want at home. You got a different child at home and there's a very different child in school.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
when you think that you got your nice quiet child at home, at
Mm-hmm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
would not believe your ears what the teacher's telling you and some of the
That's
students telling
true.
you.
That's
It's not
right.
your child. They could
Mm-hmm.
never be my child. Yes, it is your child
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
because of possibly
Yeah.
what they're seeing at home and what they're not seeing. So I
Yeah.
agree that there must be some other way of punishing them. They just cannot get away with it scotch free. It
No.
worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked for us, and I say us because I know all of us probably have the same age and above. It
Mm-hmm.
worked for us when we were going to school, but how
Mm-hmm.
many of us really and truly not enjoyed it or really and truly came out on top, not knowing how to incite violence to get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You
All right.
understand? So I don't. It's debatable, and I think they should either be pulled from activities. They can't participate in
Yes,
activities,
you have the other, yeah.
or
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
put
Mhm.
them to sit at
You
the
have
back of
other
the
ways of
class,
discipline.
or
Yeah.
Tighten up
some
things.
amount of discipline
Yes, yes.
have to
Mm-hmm.
take
Yes, you
place
have to.
Mm-hmm.
in order for that. But sometimes it works with the students. It
Mm-hmm.
works, and I can say that because a child of mine had his teacher, the maths teacher, was very strict. Like if you don't do homework, if he gave you 5 homeworks, you only do two. You got 3 lashes to collect next day. So it drove so much fear into the child that they wanted to do the homework when they get home because they want them lashes. And
Mm-hmm.
so you find,
Mm-hmm.
and after that teacher was sent away from the school, everything went back to normal.
Yes, chaos, chaos.
Normal
Mm-hmm.
means I
Mm-hmm.
do it if I want to do it, I don't want to do it. And then the teachers be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, they said that if we haul upon them is a problem. If we tell them certain things is a problem. So I come to work for the salary. Some teachers,
Mm-hmm.
most teachers, some of them go to work just for the salary. They sit down and watch a child all day, put the
Yes,
work on the board. You do it or
definitely.
you don't do it, it's not me business.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we have
Yeah.
right now in school, except for the teachers who really love teaching and who really
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
finding ways to deal with those type of issues.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's all
we
I
do.
wanted
We
to
do
add.
have those
Mm-hmm.
teachers.
Thank you
You
so
have
much,
those teachers.
Anastasia. Thank you for your feedback. And that was well done. But guys, listen, I want you guys to stay right there. Don't move. We're going to be making some calls, some random calls to persons. If they pick up, they pick up. You're lucky enough to know that you said being celebrated on the Gigi Show. And once again, this is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating these phenomenal women on the show today. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much. You helped to make the show so uh memorable today. So we're gonna make some calls, but in the meanwhile, if there's some other questions that you wanna ask, you can come up with those questions in the meanwhile.
There's one from DJ Quinn for the doctor, and he's asking, "What's your advice to men or women on type of food or over-the-counter drugs to support eye care?"
All right. So, as long as you have a well balanced diet, which would include frequent usage of vegetables, green leafy vegetables, especially, and brightly colored vegetables and fruits, that will support your eye health. You will not have to seek additional eye supplements. So that's usually a misconception that you need to have supplements, but rather, if your diet is suitable and you have those vegetables and things like fish and legumes, which are also good for promoting eye health, you will not have to take any additional
All right,
supplements.
guys. Okay, so we
So,
have
in addition to
our.
that, I'd like
Oh,
to
I'm
add
sorry. I thought she was finished.
that's all right. In addition to that, I would like to add that as people, we should use everything in moderation. So, for example, persons who suffer from diabetes need to learn that they need to use their starches and carbohydrates in moderation. It's not that they can't use it, but it needs to be done in moderation, because if your blood sugar is uncontrolled, you will develop the complications of diabetes, one of which is blindness. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh
thank you
wow.
so
Thank
much.
you.
So we do have our first caller that we're celebrating this afternoon. Hi, Miss Broderson. We want to welcome you to the Gigi Show. You are our first caller that we've called. We want to let you know this is Women's History Month, of course, and we are celebrating. We chose to call you the first person to celebrate you here on the Gigi Show. We want to say happy International Women's Month, and we are celebrating you. Thank you for everything that you've been doing in your community. We do hope that you continue to be that inspiration to women and the babies in your life. Thank you for joining us, of course. Welcome once again. And I want to say we love you and thank you for everything that you've been doing. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Take
Okay.
care.
Okay. All right. So that's my first caller. I'm going to be going to my next caller. In the meanwhile, let's get some more questions. All right. Okay.
Yes, I have excuse me. Yes, I have a statement to make, or I should say,
Hi, Gigi.
Hi.
Gigi, you muted.
you muted.
I can't talk.
You knock off.
So you're live on the Gigi show. So we have Sharon on the phone. So Sharon, this is
It's noisy.
you're hearing. Are you hearing me?
Really hearing you because somebody's vacuuming.
Oh, somebody's vacuum. Okay. Anyway, let me say this to you quickly. Now we're celebrating you on the Gigi show today. We're calling you to let you know we're honoring you as one of our women. We're celebrating you as one of our women live on the Gigi show. So you want to let you know you are welcome. We want to let you know we love you. We appreciate everything that you do. And may God continue to richly bless you. Everyone is hearing you live.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Kendra, you can go ahead in the meanwhile.
Yes, I wanted to say that for me, when I came to the US, transitioning from teaching in Guyana for such a long time, and corporal punishment being on the table, into a setting where corporal punishment was not on the table, it was a little difficult. But I had to learn and create ways of dealing with students and finding ways to make them listen. So you now had to become more creative in the classroom, provide a setting where you can have things for them and able to take it away. So for example, in your classroom in the US, you have a calming corner. That's an area where they can go. Sometimes they could relax, take a pillow, put under their head. They could take a book, read if they like to, you know, and there are different things they can play with and so on in that area. And so once you did what you had to do, you'll be able to go into the calming corner, or you can be able to go on your device in the calming corner. And that's one of the things that works well. So if they don't do what they have to do, they miss the time in the calming corner. So that's one strategy that worked. Another thing, you had to be in close proximity with parents, be able to call parents on the ball, like, oh, do you want me to call mom and let them know what's going on? And so what I find is that you had to develop a better and closer relationship with parents in order to maintain or keep discipline in the classroom. And the thing is, I'm in a special ed setting, so sometimes it's even harder to actually, when a child is crashing out, sometimes the parents can't help you there. So you really got to come up with creative ways of dealing with those things. Sometimes they need breaks. They get time out. They can go for a walk. You take them outside, So it really caused me to tap into my creative ability of being a teacher and able to administer some form of discipline when there's indiscipline in the classroom.
Okay.
Could I add this? You see, with the younger children, you have more hold over them. But when you have the secondary children, you really have to devise means and ways of discipline in the classroom. Because if you look carefully, Now, what's happening is that these secondary children, the secondary school children, are the ones who are so indisciplined. And because teachers, some of those, and some of them are even, they're looking bigger than the teacher. So teachers are afraid. You see, in times past, even though a teacher may be small in stature, because of the relationship from home, that child would respect that teacher. And I believe there has to be something more to be done with the secondary children, because those are the children I taught for all my years. But with the little ones, that you might have a little hold over them.
Okay, I have a question for the pastor. Um, do you have any difficulties with the children during, Sunday school, church, or whatever? Because I mean, we have children, going to school, they have issues or whatever. Do you deal with what we're talking about in the schools? Do you have any issues like that in the Sunday school setting or the church setting where you have problematic children?
Yes. There are a few children who you'll find have problems. And from their behavior, you will recognize that something is going on in the home. That is
Mm-hmm.
why that child or children behave the way they're doing. So what I usually do, I try to make contact or make an appointment to go visit with the parents. And from visiting with them, I will be able to detect or try to identify what is happening in the home. And
Mm.
from there now, when I realize what's going on, I will try now to work around that to help the child to overcome that situation. So we do have children like that who will come with problems. At one time, there was one child who would come, and every time he comes, he's sleeping, he's sleeping, he's sleeping. So one day I said to him, "Why are you so sleepy? Didn't you sleep last night?" And then he said, "I wanted to, but I am living with my stepmother and father. And my stepmother have me up late at night doing all the chores. And so I don't get enough sleep."
Oh
So
my
you'll
God.
find that, when you have to actually sometimes interact with the children and sometimes go to the homes you visit and you'll be able to identify exactly what's happening and then ask God to give you wisdom how
To
to
help.
help the
Mm-hmm.
family and to help that child.
And and the
Mm-hmm.
approach, because
And the
sometimes some
approach.
people are so arrogant and
Arrogant,
so
yes,
Yes.
angry.
yes.
You
So
don't know how to
how
approach
to
them.
do it,
Yeah.
yes. So something
Hmm.
God got to give you the wisdom how to approach that family to help them.
Right, to help them, because not
Yes.
people just need help, because they say the first step to healing is acknowledgement.
Yes,
You have to
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that
That's
there's
right.
something wrong with you
That's
so
Yes.
you
right.
can be healed. Um,
Yes.
the doctor, my question to you is, how long, I mean, okay, two questions I have. How long did it take you in years to reach to the state of surgeon, and how many surgeries have you done to date? Because I mean, I've known you for quite some time. I know you are an amazing dancer. You're very quiet. You stick to yourself. You're absolutely beautiful. The way you're dressed, the
All
way you
right.
carry yourself. How long did it take to get to surgeon stage, and how many surgeries have you done thus far?
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
All right, so my journey to becoming a vitreoretinal surgeon took approximately 10 years. And to break it down further, I spent 5 years doing my medical training at the University of Guyana, after which I had to do 1 year's internship at the Georgetown Public Hospital. After completing the 1 year internship, I decided to spend some time in the ophthalmology department because it was an area that I was truly interested in. After spending 3 years working in that department, I embarked on my specialization training, my master's of medicine in ophthalmology. That was done in Uganda. I spent 3 years there pursuing that training.
Oh
And then
my.
I was able to do further specialization in vitreoretinal surgery, which took an additional 1 year, and that study was done in Tanzania.
Mhm.
Oh my
When I re-
goodness.
All right, guys.
yes,
I
thank
have.
you.
Hold on, Gigi. Hold on. Let her finish.
Mhm.
Hold on one
Is she
second.
is she not finished?
No, no,
Yeah, so
she's
that was 10 years
Oh, I'm
for that
sorry.
academic journey to reach
mm,
the stage that I'm at now. When
mhm,
I returned to Guyana in 2018, there was limited, well, really and truly, there was no retinal surgical services available in Guyana, whether public
mm,
or private. And so I spent about 2 years trying to develop and initiate that service at the Georgetown Public Hospital. When I did start, I was able to collaborate with regional colleagues, a colleague of mine from Barbados, Dr. Ben Skin, who's a senior vitreoretinal surgeon in Barbados, who was able to, help me start up the service in Guyana, which was previously non-existent. And then I was able to continue on my own until now. And from time to time, I still do have collaborations with various overseas teams to do very advanced and complex surgeries on
Mhm.
the retina. Um, your other question to me was how
how
many
much
surgeries I've
today?
done to date.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 500 of those complex cases since
$500.
returning to Guyana. Over 500 since returning to Guyana.
Oh my
Mm.
God.
Mm.
You're
Yeah,
amazing. And it's free?
it's free. Yes, services at the Georgetown Public Hospital are completely free.
I'm gonna need to I'm
Mm.
gonna need to promote this some more because I know of course we
Thank you.
have a lot of people who probably don't know this,
A
that
lot
this
of people
service
don't.
is free.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, I have a caller on the line. I
Okay.
have someone on the line that I just called. Miss Angela, you're live on the Gigi Show. And I'm calling to celebrate you today because we're celebrating phenomenal women. So we decided to make a random call to you to let you know that we celebrate you on the Gigi Show for being a woman. Thank you so much for everything
Mm.
that you do in this life. Have a good
Yes.
one.
Thank you.
Very
Okay.
You're
nice.
welcome. Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much.
You're welcome. All
Pastor
right.
Lynette, I have a
Yes.
question for you.
Yes.
I know that being a pastor may seem easy to the world at large, but how do you deal with, like, I know recently we had a major death in the church where we lost three family members at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? I mean, these are people that came in the church, practically grew up in the church. You married them, you baptized their children, and then you had to do their funeral. How do you as a pastor cope? Because we know everybody's worried about the family and stuff like that. But I want to know the pastor who has to go through all of this and be supportive at the same time for the family, knowing that they also cared for these people. How do you cope?
Good question. The first thing as a pastor, you have to tell yourself a pastor is everything to everybody. You have to go with that mindset. You just have carrying a title. But at the same time, you tell yourself you're dealing with people who will have feelings, people who will have situations, people who will have circumstances that they would need your guidance, they would need your help. And so you cannot see yourself like above the people you're serving. You have to see yourself on their level so that when unforeseen things happen to them, you can see yourself as being a part of what they're going through. And so you try to fit in to their circumstance. For instance, when we had that death in the family, it's so, I don't know, not really unfortunate, but the sister, after she got I was the first person she called. to let me know what happened. And she was crying uncontrollably. She was crying uncontrollably, uncontrollably. And all I had to do was just to listen, just keep listening to her. And when she was
Mm-hmm.
finished, I said, God, give me wisdom what to say to her at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I allowed her to cry out what was happening in her. For the family now, immediate family, I had to go and visit. And now it was two families involved because it was the husband and the wife. So it was the girl's parents plus the boy's parents. And so I had to be between two families, visiting, praying with them, counseling with them, working with them, helping them along to go through whatever arrangements, whatever decisions, whatever help they would need. So I had to put myself in that place as though I was part of the tragedy. I was part of what actually happened. So they just didn't feel alone and rejected. They felt as though there was someone there, their pastor, going through the hurt and the agony with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
we had to do it.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yes, but it
Thank
wasn't
you,
easy to do
Pastor.
that funeral. It was not easy to
I
do that
know.
funeral.
That's gonna be hard.
It
Yeah.
was hard. But
Mhm.
the other sad thing is that the only girl is the daughter who survived. Oh, until now we have to be working with her because she's the one who saw everything that
Everything,
happened.
yeah,
She saw
yeah.
when her mother fell and died, when her father died, and the thing that is haunting her spirit. She said just before the accident took place, the sister who died, they had just exchanged seats when that accident happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
she's saying to herself, I am the one who caused my sister to die because I was sitting in that
No.
seat. I said,
Wow.
no, you. So we
No, she
have to
can't
be
blame
working
herself.
with her on that. Yes.
Wow.
So as a pastor, you have
Wow.
to put yourself into people's situation. Oh, well, I am
Yes.
going through it with you. I am there with you. It's not
Mm-hmm.
my
Yeah.
thought,
Mhm.
but it's yours. We are all together in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is why
Thank
with
you.
you, Sister Idris, when you're going through your thing, I don't know for some reason, as you said, I always feel it in my spirit when
Yeah.
something is happening to you. I
Yes.
recall this particular morning, I was preparing for work. I was actually in the shower. I was in the shower. And there and then, some say, something is happening to Idris. Get out and go and call her right now. So I shut off the tap, wrap a towel around me, and I ran to the room, got my phone, and I called her. And sure
Yes.
enough, she was on the way to the hospital
Yep.
fighting for her life.
Yep.
That's
So
Thank
a
I'm
you.
divine
saying this to say,
connection.
you have to put yourself into your congregation,
Mm-hmm.
like if you were
That's a
part of
divine
them.
connection.
So you, yeah,
Yeah.
so you
True.
can know exactly what's happening and how you
Yes.
can help them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So
Yeah.
you,
I'm seeing
Pastor.
Joan Jackie
Thank
Butcher
you,
is saying some teachers were made, some were born.
Mm-hmm.
Some teachers were made, some were born.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Lynette,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. You got to
Yes.
put yourself. You got to put yourself in other people's
Yes, you have to.
position.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and have some kind of empathy for them.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do have to.
Yeah,
Yes, you do have to.
you have to have to. So,
Yes.
is there anyone else that has questions before I can go to my next call? Because we're celebrating women today. And I want to say a big shout out to all those who are logged in with us on the app: Cleveland Harlequin, Joan Jackie, Butcher, we see Winston Jacob. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Continue sending your questions. We have the women who are here. We're celebrating women today for Women's History Month. And we decided that we want to celebrate these phenomenal women who's on the panel with us today. So if there's anyone else that has questions, just let's go for it.
I have a quote that I want to share. Well,
Yes, go right ahead.
it was Women's History Month celebration at my school, and we had to decorate our board outside, and we have to do the works, and we had a chances visit yesterday, so we had to really make the school look prim and proper, to be exact. And one of the captions outside of someone's door caught my attention, and I said I have to take this for the Women's Month. It has the pictures of these ladies, So it says, Harriet led so Kamala could inspire. Rosa sit so Kamala can run. And
Mm-hmm.
Ruby walk so Catania could rule.
Mm.
That just spoke volumes to me
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because it's like those women paved the way for those
Yes.
other women.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are phenomenal women. And those are women that we can able to say, you know what? I can take a page out of their book and I can
Yeah.
able to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, be strong and powerful like them. So I'm making another
The person
call.
you're trying to
Okay, good. That person. Okay, you're gone. So yeah, once again, thank you, ladies, for joining us as I continue to, make these calls to celebrate these women. Let me tell you something. It takes a lot. Someone only wants to hear that word, those words. I celebrate you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything. You may not know that person personally, but because you just want to thank that person personally for whatever they have done, in life, So once again, Idris, is there anything else you want to say?
Other than to tell these beautiful ladies and all the ladies who are watching, like Miss Angela, Miss Joan, Miss Celine, Deborah, and all the other ladies that are here with us today who are tuned in with us, I want to say we love you, we celebrate you, we respect you. It is not easy being a woman. It is definitely not easy being a woman. We juggle so much as women: motherhood, work. We're doctors, we're nurses, we're teachers, we're hairdressers, we're dentists. Because the other day I had to pull out my granddaughter's tooth because it was just hanging by a string. And she's like, Grandma, I want it gone. I was a dentist. There are so many hats that we as women wear, and we do it with grace. We do it with
Mm-hmm.
diligence, and we do it with a lot of love, because it takes a lot of love, to do the job that we as women do. We juggle our secular jobs. Pastor Lynette has a secular job as well as she's a pastor, you know. And I know it's not easy carrying a congregation plus carrying the job that she carries. Kendra is a teacher, she has to work with children, and it's not easy, but still we do it with grace. So I want to shout out all women today, whether you're just an housewife, because there is no just an housewife. That's a whole job by itself.
A
So,
very hard job too.
I want to salute you,
Yes.
ladies, and I want to say, hey, we did it. We are doing it, and we will continue to do it. Kudos to all
Mm-hmm.
of us.
Yeah. And I want to say to Miss Gigi and probably all the other panel members, this is a very good program you're doing, because lots of women, because of probably what they went through at their childhood or probably even in their adulthood, there are lots of women are living with very low self-esteem about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And this sort of program will help them to know that they have worth, they have
Yes,
value, they have purpose. And I
yes,
want to encourage you guys to keep doing this program so women can step up and be who they're supposed to be, walk in their purpose, walk in their
yes,
destiny,
yes,
until they can know that they're valuable in life, put their
yes,
past behind them, and look forward to the future.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
So we have 3 minutes into the closing because we're at now one at 6:57.
Seven.
7:50, sorry.
7:50.
7:50. We went over a little because we started late. So we just so I want to hear, mommy, what is it that you want to leave with the ladies before you go? And then I'm gonna go to the doctor and then I'm gonna go to the lawyer.
Well, I was glad that I had the opportunity of being on this program. I always look at the show, and sometimes I stay in the shadows. But today I am glad that I'm here, and I would want to let women know that we are strong. We can make a difference in our society. We are not just ordinary people, but we must be in the place where we are able to help our fellow women, help our children, help our men folk, that they will be able, that the society will be a better one. We know that there are some things that are happening today that many times we have no control over. But we as women, we hold the family together, we hold the society, because if we have what it takes to talk to the young people, to talk to I love our young people, where we can talk with them and encourage them, because some of them are frustrated. And so I want to encourage each one of us on this panel, on the those that are are listening, that we can make a difference in people's lives. Let's not only think about ourselves, but let us think how we can make the difference in our families and in the society at large. Mm,
Thank you so much,
wonderful.
Mom. I appreciate you. Thank you for gracing us here with your presence, along with Pastor Lynette. I want to go to Miss Anastasia. Can you leave a word with a young woman out there who's finding it difficult to make decisions? Can you speak to them, please?
Right. So, to all young people, young women, not discriminating against men. This message is for you too if you're listening, but the question was specific to young women. Do not limit yourself. You are your worst enemy when you decide that you cannot do something. It's only impossible if it was never tried. And so I say to get out of your comfort zone. Do not get comfortable in your comfort zone. Try new things. Test yourself, test your own limits, and just go out there and soar. You never know what else you can achieve, and don't limit yourself to one aspect of anything. Try new things, try new experiences, and believe me and trust me, you will find where you belong when you do that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Anastasia, for those words. I know someone is encouraged by those words also. What's the doctor? I don't remember her name.
Arlene,
Arlene, Doc.
Doc.
Yes.
Oh, Doc, talk to somebody, please. Somebody
All
out
right.
there who's listening to you.
All right. My advice to young women is that they should believe in themselves. They should not let the opinions of others define what they can or cannot do. They should not let fear or doubt limit their potentials. And if they're passionate about anything at all in life, they should pursue it with confidence and with strength. That's my message to young women. But I also have a general message to persons regarding eye care. I would like to encourage everyone to prioritize their eye health and to do yearly comprehensive eye examinations. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank
Miss
you, Doc.
Arlene. We appreciate. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome.
Once again, I want to say a big thank you, and I want to say happy International Women's Month to each and every one of you. And I think we have one more call to make, and then we're out of here.
Before
So,
we go,
mhm.
the doctor has a sister by the name of Shellan Watson. This woman has 3 children and she's an educator. She, just like Kendra and mom over there, she is molding the future of the world. Our future children, our future presidents, teachers, police officers, lawyers, doctors,
Mhm,
surgeons.
mhm.
Shalon Watson is one of those people who are tasked daily. She goes to work. She loves her job. She works with her children. She tries her best to bring the best out in not just her children that she's given birth to, but to her students. Thank you so much, teacher Shalon Watson, for everything that you do. towards molding our children for the future. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Thank you, Arlene and Stacy. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being an inspiration, not just to me, for our young people coming up. Arlene, 500 surgeries, girl. Listen, you are a beast. You hear
Thank
me? I am
you.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
happy with the fact that it's free at Georgetown Hospital. I'm going to call you. I'm definitely going to be making a post because we have so many people that need help. We need to highlight this. Yes, Stacy, I see you put
I
your
was
finger.
just gonna ask, Arlene, is it difficult to get an appointment for you to see at the Georgetown Hospital?
So we have a process whereby we require patients to come in with a referral. Once you come in with a referral, we have doctors who do initial screening. So if they identify that you have a retinal disease, they will then come across to me and ask me for an appointment for that patient. If I can facilitate the patient on the same day, I usually do, or if not, I do give a close enough appointment because retinal disease, if not treated urgently, can sometimes lead to
Yes.
blindness.
Oh, so it must be by referral. Like you don't have, do you have a clinic where you do like private work that you can just do like eye tests or no?
I'm sorry, my internet is being cut from time to time. I did not hear your last statement.
Do you have a clinic where you do private tests, like you work outside of Georgetown Hospital, that you can see patients privately?
Yes, I do, but that's just once a week at Optique. But most of my work is indeed done at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Most of my clinical work and surgical work is at the Georgetown Public Hospital.
Oh, and lastly, I am proud of you too, Arlene.
Thank you very much, Anastasia.
All right, so let's just do this quickly lesson and let's get out of here.
Yes, yeah, I did my bit. Thank you, ladies, for
Did
being
already?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes.
All right. So can I
Kendra,
thank you
Kendra can
guys
go
so much
next.
once again? Thank you
Kendra
for
didn't go.
joining us here on the Gigi Show, and you are welcome to come back at any time. It's a
How
pleasure
often
having
is
you.
it done?
Every
often is-
Saturday at 5 p.m.
Every
Okay.
Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. We're on
5
different
to 7
topics, different
p.m.
conversations
you.
every Saturday.
Yes.
We did a religious one last week, but you missed a good one last week.
Just
Yes.
before we go, Gigi, I want to also piggyback on what the ladies say about encouraging young women. I just want to also push this in that they are not their situation. You
Right.
know, a lot of times young women find themselves in situation and they feel that this is their life and this is what they have to live by. But your situation is not your life. A situation might be something that just happened at that point in time, and you can get up from that. So it's your journey that matters and not what you're doing currently. It's where you got to go.
Thank you so
So
much.
just know
Kendra.
that we got to keep trying. You got to get up and go. When there's no other thing than when you fail, you get up and go
I
again.
wasn't hearing that at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. So once again, thank you so much. We're over our time. We have to run now. So Deborah Midas, Onika Grant, guys, thank you so much for joining. And do come again. Join us again next Saturday at 5 p.m. for another episode of The Gigi Show. Happy International Women's Month to these phenomenal ladies and all the ladies on the live. Love you guys and
Thank you
bye-bye.
guys for your time.
Thank you.
Arlene, Stacey,
Thank
Granny,
you.
and
Thank
Pastor.
you, son.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you so much.
Life doesn't always go as planned. There was a time when everything felt lost. No home, no direction, no certainty about tomorrow. But even in the middle of the storm, purpose was being born. This is more than a story. It is a journey of rising after the fall. From homelessness to hope. from struggle to strength. Purpose in the Storm. A story of faith, courage, and rising again. Get inspired, get strengthened, get your copy today.